Welcome back, peeps. Thank you for tuning in the Banner Bros channel. In today's video, we're going to be going into an in-depth strategy guide on how to dominate Boneyard in Warzone Battle Royale mode. All right, I'm going to be showing you stats that are given to me by the official Call of Duty strategy guide page. So I'm going to show you how private each location is, how much cover you get, and what is the best place to land in Boneyard for the most amount of loot. And at the end, I'm going to be giving you my main strategy on how to get a lot of kills and get yourself out of Boneyard with all your teammate alive, a bunch of money, and a lot of kills. If you do enjoy this kind of content, please like and subscribe and turn that notification bell on. It deeply helps me out a lot. And without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So starting off, again, we got the map open over here. So Boneyard is divided in 6 general locations. I'm going to be going in depth on each location, the privacy of that location, the amount of cover you can get in each location, and the amount of loot. Again, these stats were provided by the official Call of Duty page, so this is not something that I made out of my butt. All right, so let's jump into the first one, being number 55, which is the offices and repair shop. All right, this has a pretty decent size. As you guys can see, on the three things we're going to be looking at are going to be seclusion, which is on that middle left graph part, and we're going to be looking at cover and loot, which are on the bottom right. Seclusion means how private this place is. Obviously, this place is not really going to be that private because Boneyard is a fan favorite and a bunch of people drop on here. So not a lot of privacy, but you do get pretty decent cover and a good amount of loot. If you do want to land at this location, what a lot of people try to do is they try to take those buildings. There's two buildings here, and if you can take the roof, that is how you can take the offices and repair shop. It is of vital importance that wherever you land in Boneyard, you land with all your squad. Again, if it is a 2v1 situation, most likely you are going to win, especially in Boneyard. Again, really important. Always land with all your team in one specific designated location. Again, let's go into the second one, which is going to be number 56. We got the Turbine Shop, Stacks, Purple Plane, Rebel Cache, and Midtown. Now let's jump into what this place has to offer. Seclusion, again, not that private, pretty low in privacy. A bunch of people drop here. It does have quite a bit of cover. As you guys can see, it has the maximum amount of cover that any location can offer, and it has almost the maximum amount of loot that any location can offer. Why does this place have a lot of cover? Because this is the start of the broken plane area. So you've got a lot of locations that you can hide within these planes, and it is very important. The only problem is that if you're in this location, you can get attacked by multiple locations, so it is just going to be a real death zone. You don't really want to be in this location unless you jump in from the back and then you push your way in, but really jumping in the middle is going to be a suicide mission. Next up, let's go with number 57, which is the Red Plane and Pond, which is going to be on that left side of the map. Here, again, not that private location. Everybody's going to be landing in this location. Amount of cover is the same. We're going to have maximum amount of cover in this location, again, because it is a scrapyard. So that is where a bunch of the airplanes and broken parts are in here. So you get a lot of, this place does have a lot to cover for loot. Now, sorry, for cover. Now, when we come for loot, this place actually has a little bit less compared to the two other locations that we just visited. So 57, which is the Red Plane and Pond, this one is not going to have that much amount of loot compared to the other locations. Mostly because it doesn't have any buildings, so you only have usually like one chest per airplane, and that's not that much. So usually when you go into buildings, you can find quite a bit more loot. Next up, let's jump into number 58, being Scrapyard. This is a multiplayer map as well for you guys who didn't know this. Seclusion, again, this one is actually a little bit more private compared to the other ones. Why? Because usually people like to land on the outsides of Boneyard. So this one is going to be a little bit more private. Again, also the reason being is because there is more buildings in here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, around 5 buildings just in this location and some planes in the middle. Again, you've got tremendous amount of cover in this location because you can get to a lot of buildings. This does have one of the three important 3-story buildings. If you can get in that building, you can basically dominate the middle of Boneyard. Also, do be aware, usually this location is where a shop is found, so you may find a lot of people trying to get to this location. Again, loot is very high in this location. You can find quite a bit of contracts if you're landing in here. Next up, we got number 59 being the Silos and Boulder Town. Now, this place is kind of like on the right side. This is kind of like the part that nobody really likes to land in. So if you really want the safest bet, try and land on this location. Not that many people like to land here. The reason being, again, as you guys can see for the loot, not that much loot in this location. Pretty good amount of cover. But it is a little bit private, again, being because not a lot of people land on this location. You guys can see the stats on the left side. It's basically medium. It's basically an average location to land. So this is kind of like the safe zone, if you wanted to call it, in Boneyard. Next up, let's go into the final one, and my favorite, and I'll tell you guys in the end why. It is number 60, Vista Point, Blue Plane, Hangar 9, and Hangar 13. This place is really, really big, as you guys can see, the biggest size of them all. But the privacy is the least, meaning this is the place where the most hot drops happen in this location. Obviously, that does have to do with the size that it is really, really big. So most people will land in this location. It does have pretty good cover, and it does have pretty good loot. In this location, you will find that big hangar in the back part, and you also find a little house in that back part as well. It's also important to note that you will also find a shop in this location. So once there is a shop in this location, be aware that many squads will try and go into your location. Usually you can find the contracts in the hangar. At least that's what's happened to me in my occasions. So I'm going to open up Paint, and I'm going to show you guys my general strategy on how to move through Boneyard and get yourself a bunch of kills. I will be right back. Alright, so we are here in the drawing board. Literally, I opened up Paint, and this is basically one of the best ways for me to explain to you what my strategy is. And then after this, I'm going to show you some gameplay where I dominated some people, alright, in Boneyard, obviously. So you can see it in action, but first let me explain to you the gist of it. So first of all, here is the location that a lot of people land, right? It's going to be these buildings over here. So usually what a lot of people land, if the plane's on this side, they're going to come straight towards over here, and this is the two buildings that you want to get to, the ones that I was talking about, the roof. All right, if there's a lot of people here, I mean, usually there is like 15 people that try to land this location, so that's why I stopped avoiding this location. But usually what I try to do is, if you want to get a bunch of kills and you want to land here, grab your whole squad, whatever your whole squad may be. Again, like I said, duos, trio, squad, whatever. And I usually land in this one right here. So let me delete. I usually land in this one, and then I land on the roof. All right, once you take control of the roof, remember, then try to take control of the other roof just by shooting at it. All right, so take control of the roof and work your way down. From this location, then I usually try to jump over here, and I go around here, and then I go through this doorway in the back, and now I try to take control of this house. Again, I never really land in this house. I just feel like a waste of time. Just like that one, I really don't land in these ones. So again, just general strategy, jump on the roof on this one. Once you control this house, jump through the backside here because there's a fence, and then go over here and then get into that little door that will get you into that building. Once you're in this location, once you've got this whole area secured, you basically want to stick in this building here. Once you are in this building right over here, then you can basically stay on the roof and shoot some people over here. That is the general strategy if you want to land in that location. Now let's jump into the one I like the best, the one I love doing. So again, I did this strategy jumping over here a lot of the times, but I just figured that I died too many times. So I tried something different. So usually where I like to land now is going to be in this bunker over here. This bunker, I just find it amazing, amazing, amazing. Again, compared to the stats, it did say this was one of the least private locations. Like a lot of people drop here, but honestly, I have not found that many people dropping all the way over here. I feel that people just believe it's too far away from like Boneyard, like from all the action. So everybody just tries to drop here, drop here, drop here, drop here. That everybody just kind of forgets about this lonely part in the back. So again, the general strategy is going to be drop over here. Usually we try to grab the contract that's in there, and this hangar actually does have quite a bit of guns. I mean, even if you're trios, you will still get quite a bit of guns to get yourself locked and loaded and get ready for a fight. Once you drop in here, you loot this whole area, you loot this house. Again, you want to do this with your team. Now once you are around here, you want to make your way up to around this location or this location. So you try to build yourself, you try to push up north. All right, now once we're in this location, again, you've already got guns. You try to stay in this little airplane, just kind of scouting this whole region out. You want to see who's in there, who's not in there. If you don't see anybody, then from here, that's when you can push on. From here, we're going to push on to this location over here. The general strat that I want to do, again, is from this plane, I like to go to this house, control this house. Once this house is secure, go to this back part, control this location. From this location, drop over here and get to this house. Once you get to this house, you can control basically all of Boneyard, which will, because this is the 3-story building that you have eyes on almost everything. Just do be aware you can get shot from a bunch of different locations. So that is one of the issues with that one. This strategy, I only try to do it, I mean, when I'm trying to get for kills. So I mean, after this one, then I'd go push here, push here, push here, and then try and work my way all the way over here. That is if I'm really trying to destroy Boneyard. I'm trying to get as many kills as I can. But usually our strategy, honestly, as you guys can see in the video, is going to end here. So we're going to drop in this location. From here, we're going to take this plane. I'm going to have a bunch of firefight over here because a lot of people drop in this middle area. So they've got 2 locations to go. They can either go there or they go here. So in this video, in the part of this video, a lot of people were pushing towards here, and we got into a lot of gunfights, a lot of early gunfights. That's why it is very important that you take control of this plane, because this plane will allow you to get a lot of cover. As you guys can see, after you guys are going to see in the video, I dominated that plane and I moved around that plane really effectively. You can move in and out of the doorway, you can stay in, you can peek in. So once you control this plane, you basically control the south part of Boneyard, which is very important. Again, talking about my general strategy, usually what you want to do is you obviously try to get enough money for a loader drop and get good kills. I mean, I had like 6-7 kills when I finished this. So obviously I was like, and we had a lot of money, so I was like, there's really no reason for me to risk that and try and go all around Boneyard and get more kills. I mean, there is no reason. So what we did is from here, we went to the plane, dominated the plane. I got a bunch of kills in this plane and then just rotated over here, made sure this was all looted, and honestly rotated that way. That was basically what we did because the loadout drop had landed. So once the loadout drop landed, which was around this location, we went and pushed out of Boneyard. And just like that, we only touched this part of Boneyard, and yet we got away with Boneyard with a lot of money, with loadout drop, and with about 7 kills, 6 kills around there, which is quite a bit of kills, you know, compared for a duo. So yeah, we only touched this part and we dominated. Again, this is my personal strategy that I like to use. If you guys got a personal strategy that you guys would like to show me, let me know down below in the comment section. But yeah, yet again, just wanted to explain to you guys that the most potential hot drop locations are this one. This location is usually a hot drop when if the plane is over here on this side and then people can't make it. So that's when they're landing this location. But this place, we're going to put it in blue because this place is basically like a safe zone, kind of like the safe heaven. And honestly, even though they say that this is a hot drop location because it is the least secret location, this location, what I have found to be, is one of the most secure areas in there. So land in that location. Also, dangerous spots. Honestly, you don't want to be in this little house. This little house is, I mean, it's just madness. And as you guys know, there are some walls located over here. So if you do want to move around Boneyard, I always suggest you move on the outskirts of Boneyard. So if you want to move around Boneyard, I would suggest you move over here, use the walls as cover, and if you want to move Boneyard, move through here, move through these locations. These ones also have walls. That is the best way to move in and out of Boneyard. Why? Because if there's people shooting at you from this location, they're either really far or they are in open area, so you can just take a couple shots at them. If they are over here, they are also in open area, so you can take a couple shots at them and you got the wall to cover you. But if you're going through the middle, you got enemies that can be camping in here, you got enemies that can be camping here, and basically you just get destroyed. So never go through the middle of Boneyard, not the best idea to do. So yeah, let's jump into the gameplay just to see how I destroyed some peeps and my strategy that I like to do. But without further ado, if you guys did enjoy this video, again, I please appreciate it if you guys liked and subscribe, and comment if you guys would like to see any more of these kind of videos where I completely tear apart our location, and you know, and then you guys tell me like, yes, I definitely like what you were doing here. So thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. and enjoy the gameplay.
Eliminate all targets in the AO. Enemy soldier incoming.
Enemy contact! I'm hit! All right.
Supply cache located. Move to secure. Enemy soldier incoming. Objectives updated. Move to the next location. Is hunting you. Stay alert. Objectives updated. Move to the next location. Enemy UAV overhead. All supply boxes found. Solid work. Gas is closing in.
Oh my god.
Your teammate has entered the gulag. Surviving earns them redeployment.
There, moving.
I don't understand.
If you are not in the circle, it's time to
Teammate
move.
redeploying to the AO.
Oh my.